Hey, so what we got going on here is we're replacing this window. We've got a broken window where some of the glass pane was completely shattered. So the first thing we did was we removed the glass. We taped it off, just kind of made it really quick and easy, just taped it off and pulled that glass out very safely. And then the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna clean up the sides. So in order to redo these windows and set a new piece of glass, we're just gonna take out all of the old caulk that was inside of here. And so I'm just using a putty knife to get in there and kind of pry it all out. If you have a piece of glass in place, we're going to show you how we do this a little bit later on in the video. But for here, we're just going to be showing how we're actually installing this new piece of glass. So let's get started. All right, as we're removing out the old glass or the old caulk, you're gonna see these little stays that are inside here. They're little metal tabs. And so one of our tricks to getting those out is we put the putty knife on top and just tap downward, and they just pop right out really, really easy. So the very next step is we want to clean the surface of the actual window before we go applying the new piece of glass. So we're just going to use the putty knife to try and kind of chip off any loose paint that's on here and kind of clean up that surface. The better the surface is, the better the window's going to be for the long term. Next step is we're going to actually put the window inside this frame that we got, these slots. It sits right inside of it. We're looking at 24 inches by about 28 and an 8. 24 by 28 and an 8. We got our measurements of 24 and 28 and an 8. So what we're going to do is we have this old piece of glass we pulled off the house, and we're replacing the windows in different side of the house. For these particular windows, we just want to reuse the actual frames that are there, kind of preserve them. So to kind of reduce waste, we're using some old glass, but I want to show you the first part of cutting it. So set your measurement out there. There's our 24. We're going to grab our straight edge, and we're going to grab our scoring tool. What we're going to do is just all right, so we've got our glass scored. You can kind of see the mark inside of it. Make sure you've come all the way to the end on your glass. Otherwise, you will crack your edges. All right, the back side of this is kind of a hammer. All right. So now that we got the glass cut, we're ready to actually install it. So what I do is I put a bead of our window glazing all around the sill, so that way the glass will push into it and it'll seal all the cracks, and it'll kind of make a nice bed for the glass. I'm going to just finish up putting the glazing up here at the very top. Just want just a little bit here. Doesn't have to be super pretty, we just want it to be all the way around. Now that that's sitting on there, we're ready to install the glass. All right, change of plans. We're gonna just drop this in here on the table. Should allow us to actually get our glass to fit in correctly. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be adding these little stays that are going to push in and hold the window in place. So let's get started. One trick I have is to use the back or the scraper and just use that to push the stays in place. Let's give them a little wiggle. Alright, we've reached the step of actually glazing the window. The nice thing about this Caulk glaze is that it actually has a little spatula on the end that spreads the glaze right into place. So we're just going to go around the window. Alright, so putting the trim back up so that way we could put the window back together. We had to pull the window out because the whole thing wasn't fitting correctly. But the building, it just shifted, and I believe that that's actually what broke the window in the first place. So made a couple adjustments to the frame of the window so that way it sits more flush to the actual level of the building. So we should actually be in good shape from here on out.